I'm Tristan Jutra from MOMENTOUS, and we're here at the BC Boat Show in Sydney, British Columbia. And I'm speaking with Alistair Crawford from Transport Canada. Alistair, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Now, specifically, what department of Transport Canada do you work for?
Well, I work in the Marine Division in the Office of Boating Safety.
So why are you here at the BC Boat Show?
Well, it's one of our functions in boating safety to do outreach and provide information to the public around boating safety. Specifically, my role involves everything related to pleasure craft.
So what would you say are the major themes of your awareness campaigns at this boat show and throughout the year?
Well, safety overall is obviously number one, but this year we're working with Boating BC to promote sharing the waterways here in the Gulf Islands and Victoria area. You have big ships and ferries, and there can be conflict between those vessels and smaller vessels. That's just sort of a natural thing when everybody wants to use the water. And we just want to make sure that people understand that they have to be very careful. They have to make sure that the captains of the bigger boats can see them, because it's like a big truck. If you can't see the mirrors on a truck, if you can't see the bridge on a large boat, they probably can't see you. So it's important for any boater, regardless of the type, sail or human powered or motor, to be aware and take precautions.
So for pleasure craft operators nowadays, what are some of the most important pieces of equipment or gear that they should have on board?
Well, there's depending on the type of craft, there are different things that are necessary, but every single boat requires a life jacket or a personal flotation device of some kind. So no one should ever be on a paddleboard or in a canoe or a kayak or any kind of motorboat, any kind of sailboat, without at least that and the accompanying safety equipment that's required under the Canada Shipping Act and the small vessel regulations.
So do the rules say you simply have to have them on board, or that you actually have to be wearing them?
Depending on the type of craft. So it's a little bit more involved than just you've got to have. You need to know what type of craft, and then you need to know what those other pieces are. So generally, everything must have something like this. But this is not allowed on some craft because it's an inflatable. So on a Sea-Doo, you can't have one of these, okay? But the other piece that everybody has to have is some kind of sound signaling device. So we have a whistle here. If you're on a paddleboard and you have this and this, you're good. That's all you need to have. And we suggest that people attach their whistle right to their PFD or their life jacket, so that if they go in the water, it's right there. They don't have to search for it. And if they need help, and especially in cold water, like we're surrounded by, if you go in, you can be shocked by that cold water. You can take water into your lungs. You know, you can't be thinking, because you won't be thinking. But there's, every type of craft, you really need to look at what's required for those different types of vessels.
Can you just walk us through a couple of the features that we see on this particular life jacket?
Well, so this is a personal flotation device, so PFD, and this is inflatable. So it has a cartridge, CO2 cartridge inside here that is activated by contact with the water. So this would inflate and then hold the person up. There's also a handle here. You pull on that and it will inflate. So it has a gauge telling you that if it's good to go, or if it needs to be replaced. Again, depending on the type of vessel, this might be appropriate. You might have to have an inherently buoyant type of device on some types of vessels, like a Sea-Doo, for instance. It has to be inherently buoyant.
So that means it's filled with foam, or the light?
Right, right, exactly.
Gotcha. And we've got some reflective panels on here as well.
Yeah, they're part of the safety itself, but it's they not necessarily everything is going to have that.
So here at the BC Boat Show, you have an exhibit that features all sorts of different types of safety equipment. What are some of the other key items from that are good to be aware of?
Well, a lot of vessels require a buoyant heaving line, in a throw bag or without a throw bag. Smaller vessels will use a bailer. Larger vessels may have a bilge pump arrangement of some kind. You may need a reboarding device, a ladder you can throw over the side, depending on how much distance there is from the top of your vessel's gunnel to the water. So if it's less than a half meter, that's not required. But if it's more than that, so the boat beside us here definitely has to have some kind of reboarding device, unless it's got a swim platform that's less than that half meter. So there's a lot of very specific things that come into exceptions. We have our safe boating guide online on our website. If you don't have one of those, that's the best source of information, because each type of vessel has very specific information about what's required. So I would urge people to go to our website and download that if they don't have that, or see us at the show, and we're giving those away for free.
Or no, what is the website address?
tc.canada.ca. Well, it should take you right to the transport website, and then you want to search for Safe Boating Guide.
Now, if you had just one takeaway message for attendees of the BC Boat Show and anyone else that might be watching, what might that be?
Wear a life jacket. You don't know when you're going to need it, but if you're in an open boat, definitely wear it. If you're on the decks of your boat, wear it. If you're in a small boat like a kayak or a canoe or a paddleboard, wear it, because you don't plan accidents. There's no way to be ready for them. If you have it on, then it will do its job.
Good advice. Thank you so much, Alistair.
Thank
and
you.
we hope the rest of your BC Boat Show is truly momentous.